We all know that in the creative space, we are influenced by many of our friends. Billy Kyle is one of those friends that has influenced me a lot, not only to buy like the latest and greatest DJI drone and like cameras and FPV drones, etc., but also Billy has inspired me to get a Cybertruck.
Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, looking so clean, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy.
Yeah,
Easy,
yeah,
we make it look easy.
yeah. I do what I want, bring them to the front, eat them off for lunch.
In this video, I'm gonna let you know what it has been like using the Cybertruck over the last few weeks in New York City. What are some of the things that I really like? What are some of the things that I wish the Cybertruck had? And my overall like transition period from a regular EV or ICE car over to a Cybertruck. So let's get this video started. What's going on, guys? This is Eddie, aka Mr. Eddie Nunez. Thank you so much for hitting that play button and watching one of my videos. Now, this is not any ordinary video from my YouTube channel. This is not drone related. This is not camera related. This is all about the Cybertruck. So this right here is a Foundation Series Cybertruck. This is the all-wheel drive version that comes fully loaded with FSD. So this is not the Cyber Beast. This is like now the one in between, because you have like three different stages of Cybertrucks now. You have like the base model that they just released, which is an awful deal. Then you have the all-wheel drive, and then you have the Cyber Beast. So today we're going to be showing you my experience about the Cyber Beast, as I shared a little bit earlier. And I'm at the Supercharger, so I figured might as well kill some time and like talk to you about my experience using this so far. So let's really start with that user experience coming from a Jeep driver. So I own a Jeep Wrangler, or owned, because it was a lease deal, the 4xe. It just matured, so I just returned that. I own the 4xe Rubicon. I currently still have the Grand Cherokee by Jeep, and it's also a 4xe, which means it's hybrid. And then I have a Model Y Performance that I gifted to my son. It's within the household. And then, you know, now taking advantage of the tremendous deals on the Cybertrucks, I kind of like want to share what has been the journey now using this over the last few weeks in the New York City area, and like my transition. So let's talk about that transition. This car, I thought, well, first, when I went to pick it up, the first person I called was Billy Kyle. And I asked Billy, hey, Billy, how hard is it going to be driving this in New York City? Well, Billy lives in Philly, and, you know, he always travels to New York, etc. But Philly is very close to New York City in terms of like the street, the amount of traffic, people, cars, etc., double parked cars. So this thing is like massive, and I was pretty worried. But you know, now having driven it for the last few weeks, I can tell you that it's the easiest transition ever. First of all, the technology on Tesla overall is great. So you have all the cameras to assist you. You have front cameras, rear cameras, side cameras. When you're maneuvering, it's easy to kind of pull it up and see where you're like navigating to, and like what's in your surroundings. But also, this has steer-by-wire, and the front and rear tires turn almost like I think like buses or maybe some trucks may have that. So as you turn, like, let's say right, the front wheel will turn right, but then the back wheels will turn left to help you navigate. So that steer-by-wire is absolutely incredible. Within like the first hour, I got the hang of it, and I was able to like go through drive-throughs, go to the mall, run my errands, park at like the tightest, most narrow spots, reverse into a parking spot. Everything was done without an issue. It was like a seamless transition within an hour. That's how easy it is to drive a Cybertruck. So if you're thinking about getting one, but you're fearful of whether or not, you know, it's going to be easy to handle, I would say this is like a no-brainer. It's just like any ordinary pickup truck, or even like a Suburban or an Escalade. It's the same size, if you will, I don't know if it's the same size, so don't quote me on that. What I'm saying is that the thing is just huge, just like a normal huge SUV. Now, what is different about the Cybertruck compared to like my Model Y or any other car is the amount of attention that you get driving a Cybertruck. Now, you get a lot of attention. I actually just coming to this location to charge up, I got a lot of honks and thumbs up. There's constant people that stop to really like absorb, you know, the look of the Cybertruck. And also, I find that when I park at certain places, when I come back into the car or even on the phone, there's tons of Sentry mode alerts because everyone is just curious about the Cybertruck. People like get close up to the window and peek inside. You have others that like want to touch it and feel that stainless steel frame. So you get a lot of attention on the Cybertruck. So if that's something that you like, I think that's a pro. If that's something that you don't like, probably a con. But the attention is still here, even like in 2025. At the time I'm filming this video, it's May. You know, the Cybertrucks are not new. It's been out for quite a while now. There's tons in a row, especially here in New York. But it still has that awe factor that everyone wants to see the Cybertruck. Now, the experience isn't always positive. I've gotten so many negative like reactions from people because of everything that's happening in the political space. I'm keeping like a mental count in my mind how many reactions I've had, and I'm at like 23, and I might have missed, I'm sure, a couple. But you get people on the road that just like stick the middle finger up at you. They honk and they stick the middle finger at you, or they like take your hand out the window and give you a thumbs down. Like, for example, this weekend I drove up to Lake George, full self-drive, by the way, and we'll get to that in a second, on the Cybertruck. And it was pouring raining. It's just been nonstop raining in the Northeast. And like, it's heavy downpours. And this guy, this maniac, is like beeping his horn on the highway on the, I'm forgetting the name, the Taconic Parkway, which is like a two-lane narrow road with a lot of curves. And he's coming in like a maniac, beeping his horn. He gets very close. I'm on the left lane. He gets extremely close. He lowers the window. He gives me the finger, and he's like honking his horn and then takes off. Like, you know, one of the things that I've noticed and I've tried my best to do, and I am doing, is not react to any of those moments and not have any sort of road rage and try to like chase them or like, you know, outrun them. It's just not worth it, especially in a truck this size. I just let people be. I don't know why, you know, with this whole political space, there's so much hatred towards a company. But I guess, you know, everyone is entitled to their freedom of speech and their freedom of opinions. But I would just say, like, you as a human being, you don't have anything, like me, I don't have anything against, I don't even follow politics. Like, I'm not even like involved in politics or cheer one way or another to be the receiver of such like maniacs out on the road just because this brand is affiliated with Elon. And then, you know, you may have some personal feelings around that relationship. But I just wanted to mention that it's not always positive. You do get a lot of negative reactions, and that's to be expected. It's unfortunate for those who adopted early to the Cybertruck because they didn't know that this was coming. Someone, you know, who perhaps just got a Cybertruck, this is not new to you. You knew what the consequences were. I wouldn't say the consequence, that's probably wrong word. I want to say you knew what sort of reactions you would get, regardless if it's a Cybertruck or not. Any Tesla vehicle, you're currently faced with that situation, and it's unfortunate. Now let's talk about some of the positives. There are a lot of things that I love about the Cybertruck, having driven it now for a few weeks. Number one is just the comfortability of the ride. It is such a beast on the road. The cabin feels like I'm in an airplane. It is super comfortable. All the technology that it has, which is not new to the Cybertruck, all Teslas have that, but it's just in the Cybertruck, it just feels different. So the first thing I want to say that I really love about the car is the functionality of it overall. It is quite a spacious vehicle, a spacious truck. You have the bed in the back, which is huge. You have, you know, the second row in the back, which is super spacious for your passengers, whether it's your family members, friends. In this case, you know, I have my kids in the back. It is super comfortable. Everyone loves it. There is just so much storage. Even the front compartment, you have all this space for your legs and even compartments for you to like store things. It is just a stunning car when it comes to just space and the way they thought about it. Now, speaking about the back bed is fantastic because you can throw a lot of things. I have e-bikes, etc. So I can't wait to throw my e-bikes back there and like drive to a destination and then start my e-bike journey. And then I wouldn't worry about anything left behind in the bed because the tonneau cover completely closes and that thing is secure like a vault. As I mentioned earlier, it was heavy downpours yesterday. I had a lot of stuff in the back with me. I was coming up north and I thought everything was gonna get soaked perhaps. It's the first like real heavy downfall that we've had while I've been driving this car, and everything was completely dry and secure. Like I had no hesitation parking this thing anywhere. And, you know, besides like it being secure, just remember that Teslas all have like Sentry mode. So everything is always being recorded and you're getting alerts on your phone real time when there is someone like close to your vehicle or something happening. Now, I am a family of 5. So 2 teenagers, 1 baby or toddler, 3 years old, and my wife, and everyone has loved the vehicle as a family car. The kids in particular love the back because of the rear entertainment system. So they're able to navigate over to like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, etc. And you can either listen to it with the speakers of the car, or they can just connect their AirPods or earbuds to it via Bluetooth, and they're able to enjoy the entertainment system while I'm also listening to like my own entertainment, whether that's music or listening to like the navigation alerts, etc. So family absolutely loves the Cybertruck and they approve of it, which I thought was a little bit of a hesitation at first, that they were not gonna like the car at all. Now, another pro is steer by wire, and I talked about it a little bit earlier as part of my intro to this video, but steer by wire is a complete game changer. You have to like completely take the Cybertruck for a test drive in order for you to understand the significance of steer by wire. I think after, you know, experience steer by wire, I'm not gonna ever want to go back to a standard vehicle, even like the Model Y, because steer by wire is just so unique. You can quickly just pivot and turn the steering wheel about 90 degrees and the you know, you're at full you know, full rotation, both front and rear, because remember the back tires also move, which is quite fantastic. You think about like a narrow space, a narrow turn, a quick U-turn. You can do a full U-turn, a Cybertruck, without even doing the 3-point U-turn, which is like crazy to think about on a truck this size. The fact that, you know, you can do just a quick U-turn in the middle of anywhere, like any road, regardless if it's wide or narrow. The Cybertruck has that ability because of steer by wire and the capabilities of the tire. So to me, that has been a game changer, and it's just a crazy experience. I encourage you all to go ahead and give it a try. Go to a Tesla dealership and take the Cybertruck for a ride. Now, something I really also love about the Cybertruck is full self-drive, FSD. Now, FSD is not new. Every Tesla vehicle out there have it, right? You have to subscribe to it or buy it outright. FSD on the Foundation series comes already included as part of the package, and this is a Foundation series truck. So this, as I mentioned, already comes with full self-drive already included, and I've been using it a ton. I quite like it. It is, although it is the same software as like the Model Y, the Model 3, etc., the Model S, the X, it doesn't matter. It's a different experience on the Cybertruck because you truly feel like, I feel personally like I'm inside of a cockpit of an airplane. I think it's because of this crazy glass and the way that the cabin is. I actually feel like, you know, I'm a pilot in an aircraft and I'm on autopilot and I'm just flying to a destination. It's just crazy and mind-blowing what FSD is currently capable of doing, and knowing what's to come in the future with all the continuous innovation by Tesla, including like, you know, the usage of robo-taxis and what's that gonna do to these cars here, like the Cybertrucks or like the new Model Y Juniper, the new Model 3, etc. It's just crazy to think about what's coming in the future. I'm extremely excited. Also, something that's really unique that I actually like as a pro on the Cybertruck, and not unique because a lot of other luxury trucks have that, like the Range Rover, the Escalades, etc., is that it has air suspension. Now, the air suspension here can go from low. Right now, it's on the low entry mode. It can go medium, and I like to drive the Cybertruck in a medium mode. And then it can also go up really high like if you want to like do any trails or like rock climbing, etc. But when you exit the vehicle, the truck automatically comes down to this position, to its lowest position. That way it's easy for anybody to enter or exit the vehicle, which is, you know, like very cool that Tesla thought about that. Now, the long range one motor model, like the basic model that he just released, doesn't have any of that, which is why I think it's a terrible deal, because I think that truck, they cut it down by like $10,000 from a price point perspective, but like they gutted out like all of like the things that make a Cybertruck, like the tonneau cover, the air suspension, the lights. Like, it's just crazy what they did to that car. So that being said, get the all-wheel drive or get the Cyber Beast if you can afford it. Now, there are a few cons and a very, very few cons having driven this now that I want to touch on. Number one is that the Cybertruck has a rear view mirror, which I think is completely pointless. With all the cameras that this car has, I wish that Tesla figured out a way, or I'm sure they could have figured out a way. I wish they could have incorporated the rear view mirror to actually be a display like many of the like modern cars today. So like my Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Rubicon that I had, their rear view mirror is like a feed of the camera from the back. And now this car is loaded with cameras. In fact, your rear view mirror on this truck is on the actual display. So, you know, they could have just placed a rear view mirror with a live feed of that same camera feed. I don't know why Tesla didn't do that, but right now with the cover closed or even open, that little tiny rear view mirror is absolutely pointless because there's nothing that you can see from that. So that's a con. The second con I want to talk about is that the Cybertruck does a lot of different noises, like a lot of like air noises. And I'm not sure like an issue with this one in particular, but for example, like when I put it on park, and I exit the vehicle and it locks, it kind of lets like all this air out, and it's probably from the air suspension, I'm assuming. I'm gonna have Tesla go ahead and check that out. But that's pretty weird and unique about this Cybertruck or Cybertruck overall, because like the Model Y doesn't do that. And then also when you turn on the heat, for like any heating, I feel like the pump or whatever the mechanism is to kind of create the heat is extremely loud. And I think one of the things that we've been spoiled from driving electric vehicles is that we expect it to be extremely quiet. But coming from the Model Y is completely quiet when it comes to any sort of noise. And the Cybertruck just has like these weird noises that comes from them. And I not really is that it's annoying. I just expect it to be like extremely quiet. And I just wanted to mention that. But those are the only two cons that I have about the Cybertruck so far. All right, so wrapping this video up and bringing it to a complete close. If you can't tell already, I am absolutely in love with the Cybertruck. It like checks off the box and a lot of things that I've wanted from a vehicle for a very long time. Not only is it unique and very stylish, a lot of people do not like the look, including my mom. My mom refuses to get inside of this car because she thinks that it's like a garbage truck or like a, you know, like a big tank. But I absolutely love it. I think depending on the angle that you're seeing the car, it's gonna look ugly. Like there's sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wow, this thing is ugly, especially from the back. You know, as you then like walk away from it, etc. I always do like that double take and I look at it over and over again because it is such a beast of a truck. And I definitely like the way it looks. Like I never, like there are some hesitations sometimes. I'm like, damn, this thing is ugly. But at the end of the day, I come back to it. I'm like, wow, this thing is just a massive tank. So, you know, like I said, bringing this video to a close now, I want to share more of my opinions. I'm going to let you know about full self-driving on a Cybertruck. I'll probably create a dedicated video on that. But let me know what your thoughts are, any comments. Leave them down below. Leave all that political stuff aside. And if you unsubscribe because of the Cybertruck on my channel, and my channel is not huge at all, also comment unsubscribe. I'll be curious to see who has unsubscribed to the channel. Because of the Cybertruck, I know there's a lot of like noise out there. So just do me that favor. You can go ahead and unsubscribe, but let me know just so I can add you to my little tally mark, and you could be like number 23, 24, 25, etc. So absolutely love it. Let me know what comments, and this video is probably very long already as it is, and there's more to come. So until next time, peace.